Aloha and good day, friends and yogis. I'm Nicole Spirit, special guest, Fin Dog, Puka Dog in the house. And today we have a beautiful Qigong Yoga fusion for the fall or autumn. So we're going to start our class standing today. I welcome you if you've been here before, and if it's your first time, then I'm so happy to be here with you. Thank you for coming. We're going to stand with our feet under our shoulders, so shoulder width apart, a little bit wider than hip width. And once you arrive, I want you to imagine that you're sitting on a big, giant yoga ball, so that it almost feels like your pelvis tucks down a little bit and your knees are a little bit bent, and you're just sitting, resting comfortably on this ball. We're going to bring our hands right over our lower belly, and we're going to just breathe into our hands for a couple of moments. This is called Danten Breathing, and Danten stands for elixir field or gem field. You might think of it as an energy bank account for your good chi, your good life force energy. So take a couple of big deep breaths with me and feel your hands expand at the end of the inhale breath. The air goes past your nose, your heart, into your belly. On the exhale, the reverse. You deflate the belly, the air goes past your heart and out the nose. So let's take a few rounds of this deep, mindful breath. This is a beautiful version of standing meditation, and we're going to just ponder what it means to come into the season of autumn. We're thinking about the metal element, which is very contracting. It is like a withdrawing type of energy. If you think of metal, when it freezes or gets cold, it contracts. We also think about how, especially in the northern hemisphere, the leaves fall from the trees. So we think about letting go, and one of my favorite mantras is very simply, no mud, no lotus. So we think about what we need to let go of. So the translation of this mantra is Om Mani Padme Hum, and it means that there is a lotus that grows from muddy waters, and inside there is a gem, and it could be a gem of realization of what we really are. Let's take one more breath, and maybe you learn the mantra Om Mani Padme Hum. And you might even have a beautiful mala that you can count, the 108 mantras. This is similar to the rosary that we would see in other religions. So just taking one more breath, no mud, no lotus. Think about what has bloomed for you, what's grown for you this spring and summer, and what we're harvesting now in the fall, what we're letting go of. Let's release our hands. We're going to open the door of life. We're going to start to swing our arms and let your hands make contact with your belly and your low back. Let yourself turn a little bit, looking over your shoulder. And this one just pretty much instantly makes me feel better. So just seeing what's going on for you today. Not really a bend in the knees. Think about bending at the waist a little bit more, a little bit of contact from your hands onto your front and back side, just above the buns at the low back area. Then we're going to bring the top hand up to just above the chest area, and we're going to give ourselves a little knock. The back hand is still going to be at the low back. And this is actually contacting our lung points. And the lungs and the large intestine are the areas that we think about for the metal element in Chinese medicine, and thinking about just the seasonal flow and the way that things change. So just giving your lungs a little bit of love here. Taking some nice deep breaths. Then we're going to come to stillness, and you're going to pause for just a moment, bringing one hand up and over to the area under your collarbone on the left side, and then up and over your collarbone on the right side. And just that little pocket that dips in before your shoulder, you can feel this little indentation, and maybe you can make the crane's beak, bring your thumbs and fingers together and just massage into these areas. These are where the lung begins, the lung meridian begins. Take some deep breaths, and we're going to make the healing sound, a big long S sound to soothe the lungs. So inhale, and then we'll make the long S sound together. Then release your hands. We're going to float the hands up in front of the lungs. And now we can make that same healing sound on our next exhale. And you might even visualize white light pouring out of your hands into your lungs. And if you want to visualize a release, we can imagine smoke or any gray energy on the exhale breath coming out. So let's inhale together. And then make the healing sound for the lungs. Excellent. Release your hands, just feel your body for a moment. Step the feet a little bit wider apart now. And we're going to come into tiger crouches in the grass. So make your tiger's claws, bring your hands up overhead, so curl in the fingers and thumb. We're going to come down. It's almost like we're raking the channels, and then we're going to come up. We're going to flip our hands so that we rake the channels on the way back up. So we're going to exhale to come down as far as is comfortable, and then inhale to come up. And you can make a bit of a raspy breath. Exhale to come down. Almost like Ujjayi breath, victorious breath. Let's do one more. Come up. Good, and then we're going to release our arms down. Step the feet a little bit closer together. And now we're going to do a little dragon yoga. So we're going to, oh, there's a deer running down the street. Oh dear, and deer is the symbol for the heart chakra. I was just watching a car trying to go by slowly and a little deer ran about. Okay, dragon yoga. So this one's really neat. This one's actually my favorite Qigong animal Daoyin yoga move. So we're gonna start with our feet a little bit closer together. And we're going to make a big energy ball, a big chi ball. So we're going to hold this ball. Top hand is at your chest, lower hand is at your abdominal area. So for me, I'm going to have my right hand down, my left hand up. So this one is really beautiful. It starts with a little bit of a flow. So just pause for a moment. Let's sink our hands down before we make the energy ball. We're just going to simply do 1 or 2 rounds of Tai Chi opening. Open your arms up to shoulder level, sink the wrists, and float the arms down. Let's do it again. Inhale up, stand up just a hint taller. Exhale, float your hands back down. Good. Entering the flow. And breathe. Good. So let's evoke our inner dragon. We'll take that energy ball again. So left hand on top, right on the bottom. And we're going to take a moment now and step to the right and imagine throwing a frisbee out to the right. You're going to bring it all the way behind you, and your left arm is going to reach up and push the sky away. So we're getting this nice extension through that right arm behind us. Take a breath here, smile, and then we're going to gently wind the arms back in so that the right arm ends up on top and the left on the bottom, and step that right foot back in. We'll do that another time to the left. So take a moment, inhale, exhale. We're going to step out to the left, throw that frisbee behind you, and reach your right arm up to the sky. Press flat with that right arm, and your back arm is reaching behind you. Your back foot is flat. It can be lifted if necessary, but just get a nice position that feels good here. One more breath. And then we're gently going to spiral back to start. And just notice how the arms windmill back to your big chi ball, holding your chi ball, step back in, and then the right hand ends up underneath. Let's do that 2 more times. We'll take it a little bit faster. So lean to the left, and then step out to the right, throw the frisbee with the right hand, and the left arm reaches up to the sky. Feel that deep twist in the low back. Back off if you need to. And then gently we spiral back to center. This time right arm on top, left on the bottom, and step back in. Then we're going to go to the left. Take a big step to the left. Throw that imaginary frisbee. Come into a little lunge. Right arm presses up flat, left hand behind you. Smile, breathe, feel strong. And then gently spiral back, windmill the arms. Come back to your giant chi ball and arrive here. One more to each side. Inhale, step right, throw the frisbee to the right. Left hand reaches up. Breathe. Enjoy your breathing. Come back, spiral the arms. Right arm on top, left underneath, left foot steps in. Last one, we're going to step out to the left, throw the left hand, that left frisbee, right arm reaches up. And then gently we spiral back around, step back in. And then we're going to finish off with something called Tai Chi Palm. So we're going to float both arms up. And you're going to hold your right thumb with your left hand and then curl your right fingers around the rest of your hand and gently drop this down in front of the belly. And you might even look at it and notice that you've got like a yin-yang symbol between your hands. So stand here for a couple moments, breathe. And the dragon is a metaphor for our inner power, for what's said to be our kundalini or our spirit energy. And the idea is that we learn to tame or to control our inner energy so that we feel like we have a spiritual awakening rather than a crash or anything that's really difficult. So come back to your mantras, your meditation every day, Om Mane Padme Hum, or any other mantra that suits you. Let's float the feet together. We're going to do a little traditional yoga. We're going to do tree pose, Vriksasana. And I want you to think of what your tree you are and what leaves you might be releasing this time of year. So left leg is the standing leg, right foot on the floor. We can hang out here, hands at your sides, hands in Anjali Mudra. Your next position is to bring your foot to your calf. And this is a brilliant place to be. Maybe this is exactly where you need to be today. And if you're feeling vigorous, you can always draw that knee up. You can have it up in front of you, one-legged Tadasana. You can open the knee to the side and then perhaps place your foot at your thigh. So really notice that there's an engagement of energy in the leg, in the core. You're not just trying to ram your foot up into your thigh area. And take a moment, look at something not moving, find your most beautiful place for balance. Maybe we get funky with the arms, bring them out to the sides. You might lift them overhead. And here's a little variation. You don't have to do it, but maybe you want to try something new. Maybe we just do a little tiny lateral bend to the side on the left. Come back up, lateral bend on the right. Come back up with grace, release that right foot, and we'll float our arms down as well. See how you feel. Think about what tree you are today. Right leg is standing leg. Today I'm going to be a birch. Left foot is at the side. So toes on the floor. You've got 2 points of contact. This is lovely. This is very nice to hold and will help you develop your balance and concentration. Next position, foot fits nicely on the calf. Just noticing we're not pushing into the knee. If you'd like to bring your leg all the way up, I like this variation, standing in one-legged Tadasana, doing up that imaginary zipper up the front of the body, and then gently bringing that foot into the thigh. Push the foot into the thigh into the foot. Get that space where we've got namaste balance between both sides. And then perhaps we change the arms. You don't have to, you can stay here, 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 here. Breathe, smile. If your arms are up, perhaps trying a lateral bend to the left, to the right. Balance is so important. It's really good for our brain. Bring your hands down, gracefully release that left leg. Good, and let's shake it out. Shake both sides, start to bounce and shake. Shake your tree, smile. Remember, if you shake and you smile, you can't be in a bad mood. This releases stress instantly. So think of gratitude. Notice if your consciousness is responding to something. Pure consciousness, it's calm, it's kind. You feel happy no matter what's happening. Or your ego, which basically can get triggered by everything. I always like to remind people we're co-creating with the ego. Co-creating. So shake your tree, bounce, shaking. This is so good for you. And maybe you're even hearing my miracle bracelets, my gorgeous new mala from Your Journey Yoga, another teacher that I love. Good. Place. One more breath, shaking, smiling. And let's press our gratitude spot next. We're gonna pause, we're gonna bring our fingers into the center of our sternum, the center of our chest. We're gonna press into our sternum area, the bone that holds, the hard bone area that holds your ribs together. And breathe. And I want you to think a good thought. Think something happy, think something positive. Good. One more breath. Excellent. And then we'll release our arms down. We're going to do one flow, Qigong Flow, Qi energy, Gong skills or exercises. So step your feet shoulder width apart again. This one's called Buddha Holds Up the Earth, and it activates the lung meridians. So we're going to have the knees a little bit bent. We're going to bring the hands in front of us, crossing the palms, lift the hands up, flip them out at the heart, and then raise them up overhead, and then separate the hands and bring them back down. That's it. So we're gonna round the spine a little bit, cross the palms, lift up, flip, and then a big expression through the arms as we come back down. Buddha holds up the earth. I call this Buddha holds up the metal earth, so I remember it's for the metal element, for the lungs and the large intestines. So big inhale breath, and then exhale breath. Start to round the spine, cross the hands, flip them at the heart, and then exhale as you open. Inhale, cross the hands. Yeah, you have to keep doing it on your own. Flip them up overhead. The hands are up at the top of the head. We're opening up the sky. And then rounding the spine, coming in front. Inhale up, exhale, flip. And come back down. Let's do that 2 more times. Feels so good. Let's do it again. Like a roll of energy up the spine. Opening the front of the spinal discs here. Opening the back of the spinal discs here. Wonderful. Let's come back to Tadasana, our traditional yogic standing posture. Feet under your shoulders, under your hips, as close as touching. Remember to bring your toes up and then gently float them down. Let's take the hands over the low belly, the Danten elixir field, and let's just feel our body rock and sway like a bamboo in the wind. So see if you can let go of all intention and attention here. Just let your body do exactly what it would like to do. Feel strong, feel soft, feel happy, feel sad. Notice that they are feelings and we honor them and then we let them go. Remembering our mantra now, Om Mani Padme Hum, or simply no mud, no lotus. I honor you greatly. I wish for you to have a wonderful day. And just allowing for the different seasons to take their effect on us. The lungs can store grief and sadness, but in the positive, they can store courage and joy. Here, buddy. In, down. You're still in bamboo in the wind. All the way down. In, lie down. Place. You're on camera. Last 2 breaths. Gosh, they're so cute. 1 more breath. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you have an amazing sleep tonight. Make a wish. Find a miracle today. Be grateful. Notice if your ego or your pure consciousness is responding. And next time you have any type of challenge or problem, imagine it's the greatest gift you could ever have. I'm sending you all of my love from my heart to yours. Mucho, mucho amor. Take good care. Rub your belly. Go clockwise. And then we're going to let it go with a sigh.